Hello and welcome back again to another video here on my YouTube channel. I'm your host, Becca. Today with me is a high-profile personality. She's all the way from Spain. She has a lot of content, a lot of goodies in her. She's a YouTuber, she's a mom. I would like her to introduce herself. I'll leave the links to her channel in the description box. You guys can go and follow her. She has a lot of content in here that you can learn from. Without much ado, guys, let's go right into the video. I'd like my guest to introduce herself and tell us a little bit of background as to where she's based.
So, hello, Becca fans. Thanks so much for having me on our channel. I'm so grateful.
You're welcome.
So, my name is Priscilla. I'm a Ghanaian, but currently living in Spain with my husband. I'm a mother of two beautiful girls.
Wow.
And I'm a motivational speaker and advocate for a healthy relationship. And I thought of putting it into a good use by opening a YouTube channel. So that makes me a YouTuber as well.
Wow.
Yeah, that is all about me for now.
Wow. Thank you very much for honoring my invitation, because I came across some of your videos and I felt like your content is something that people will be interested in. So you are a mother in Spain.
Yeah, sure. Two girls.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, right, to begin with, did you give birth to your children back home and took them to Spain, or you gave birth to them in Spain?
No. I gave birth to them here in Spain. I wish I had them before coming, but my case is not like that. I gave birth to them here in Spain.
Wow. How was the feeling like? So you were married back in Ghana before you moved to Spain with your husband?
Yeah, I got married in Ghana and then I came here to join my husband.
Right. So when you moved, how long have you been in Spain? How long?
Getting to 4 years now.
Wow. So how was life generally like in Spain? How was it like life abroad, being in a place where you are not close to family?
Yeah, it has not been easy, but thank God I have a supportive husband. So we are managing, but no matter what it takes, you cannot get it like you are in Africa. I don't have my parents here. I don't have my sisters here. It is just me alone. And I'm not working as well because I took it very early when I came. So I wasn't fit enough to work. So it is only him going and coming back, leaving me alone in the house, having no friends around. Seriously, it has not been easy.
Oh, dear.
It has not been easy at all.
Oh. That's one ugly part of living abroad. And we just want our viewers to know that it's not always that rosy. Especially back home, some people have good support systems back home. You have everybody at your beck and call, and then suddenly you move to a country where nobody even talks to you. People don't talk to you.
You don't know anyone.
Yes, if you are not.
And to top it up, they don't speak English here, they speak Spanish. So even when I go out, I can't make friends because I don't understand what they're saying. So I'll just be sitting at one corner looking at them. It is not easy. It is not easy.
So do you speak Spanish?
It's a big wahala for me. Learning language, personally, I'm not good at it.
I think you are just like me then. That's the reason, one of the reasons why I wanted to move to an English-speaking country, because I'm very terrible with language.
It is my dream right now as well. I really want to relocate, seriously, because the Spanish language is not helping me.
Everything is possible. Yeah. With determination, hard work. One day it will happen.
Yeah, I hope so.
Wow. So you have two lovely daughters in diaspora. How was it like from conception through to hospitalization, delivery? How was it like? Was the system supportive? Did they give you, the attention you felt you needed?
Well, first of all, I would like to say this. Wherever you find yourself in this world, if you decide to become a mother, automatically you have sold your freedom and your peace of mind. But to have them here, it is not easy. Mine started when I conceived, because every woman is different. But with me, when I'm pregnant, my smell senses go to another level. Like, I don't like smelling anything. I have to take care of the first one and the second as well. So my husband will be going to work, and then, I find it hard to go to the kitchen because I will smell food and all that. but I have to still get up, go to the kitchen, prepare something for my girl, feed her. Sometimes I'll put mask on and I'll just know that, no, this is not working. Then I'll miss my mom, because I know that if I were in Ghana to feed my daughter for me, I will be sleeping, I will relax, I will have all the relaxation I want in my pregnancy, but it is not like that. Right from conception, everything was, and sometimes when in the night, I don't sleep in the night, start to feel sleepy around 5 in the morning. So that is the time I get to rest. But this is the time this girl will wake up. So I have to force myself from bed and try to attend to her. Things has not been easy. And even when it was time for me to give birth, with my first, I gave birth to her exactly at the due date that they gave me. But with this one, she came early. 2 weeks before my due date, and my husband was not around. He was on a trip, 3-day trip in Barcelona, and I knew that, no, I'm in labor. And the maternity ward, they don't accept children. It is a lot. It is a lot, seriously. But then I still love how they take care of you when you go to the hospital. With that, I'll give them a plus compared to experience from Ghana when my sister gave birth, when we went to the hospital and all that. So with their hospitality, I think it is very good here compared to Africa. I don't think I'll be able to combine this early motherhood with any job. I don't think it is possible for me now. So thank God I'm home.
So how are you raising the kids? How do you see it, raising children here? Obviously, you've seen your sisters or people back home raising their kids. How do you find it, raising your kids here? Without any culture of Africa around. How do you find it?
Well, I think it's difficult because here you can't rely on anyone to train up your child for you. Back home in Africa, your neighbor can reprimand your child if he or she is doing something bad. Mm-hmm. But here you can't expect your neighbor or someone else to even reprimand, not talking of marking, just reprimanding them, hey, what you are doing is not good. With your absence, they will not do it. You can't get anyone like that. So if you fail as a mother, trust me, you will destroy the future of your child because no one is going to help you. So when it comes to training the children, my first girl, she's not even 3 years, and when she's doing something bad and I tell her to stop, she will ask me why. Then I'll be like, girl, I did not get that back in my days. How can you ask me why? I'm your mother.
You dare not ask me questions.
You dare not ask your mom why. But hey, this is their time. Everything is different now. So I can't say that I did not get the opportunity to ask my parents why when they tell me something. So I'm going to force it to my children right now that they shouldn't ask me why. So anytime she's doing something, but I tell her, don't do it, stop it, and she asks me why, I just explain to her, because you hurt yourself, because this is not good, and she'll be like, okay. But back then in Ghana, you can't even ask someone who is older than you, what is your name? Teaching my children to call people with their first name has become a big wahala for me, because I don't know if they're going to do it when you go to Ghana, because if you try it with my mom, I'm going to call her just like
finished.
You are finished. But I believe we have to train them in the environment that they find themselves in, because you can't train them using the African way. I'm not saying they should adapt every bad thing that is going on here, but you can't train them not to ask questions. You can't train them to add titles to people, because the society doesn't appreciate it. Even if they go out to call people daddy, they're not going to appreciate it. They will tell them, hey, don't call me daddy, call me by my first name. If you train them not to ask questions, they will go out there and they would be able to defend themselves, because this is not Africa. This is Europe. So I believe you have to train our children in the environment that they are in right now, and inculcate a little bit of the African behavior in them as well, so that they will be able to fit in when
that's
they go
African
to Africa
magic.
Well. Yeah, seriously. Seriously, because sometimes I'll be going out with my girl, she will misbehave in public, and sometimes I want to smack her, and then I will come back to my
goodness,
Africa. this is pain. The African mother. Sometimes my mom can smack you, and 5 minutes you'll not be able to cry. You'll be crying inside. Sometimes I want to do that, but hey, these children are not giving me the privilege to do it. I said, God, I wish I gave birth in Africa so that I could also enjoy being a mother.
I remember back when I was younger, I was very, very troublesome. And my mother could chase me in the street with a comb. She wants to hit me with a comb. So sometimes I'm like, if my mom is training a child here, she will get high blood pressure at a very young age. She
But
can't.
sometimes I look back and say that they've helped us. Seriously,
Yes.
they've helped us. They've beaten the hell out of us, but
Oh dear, they have.
it has helped us. So we are doing our best. We are doing our best to train them well so that they will not adapt the kind of behavior the children here are doing. You know, sometimes they are 16, 17, they will be smoking weed and all that. So you have to make sure that you can't tell your child not to go anywhere. You can't camp them home. Don't go anywhere. Don't make friends. But at least that is why I say that there are three stages in every mother's life. The first stage is when what you say goes. You tell her to sit down, she will. But the second one is you will say something and she is also able to come out with her idea or her mind. Then the third one is she is in charge of her life.
Yeah.
So if you fail at the first stage, the next two stages, you are going to fail as well. So I believe that as a mother, you have to, the initial stage of your children's life, you have to be available in their lives. Even if you are not, you should be able to leave them in the care of people that you trust, people that will train them as the way you want them to become, okay? So that in the future, when it is time for them to make decisions for themselves, you will be rest assured that they're going to make good decisions. They're not going to make you cry, they'll make you proud. Because if you fail to let them cry today, you will cry tomorrow.
That's very true. That's wise words. That's wise words. And sometimes I think we shouldn't let children have their way too much.
Seriously.
Because if they start having their way at an early age, and I remember my second child, when she was growing up, she has tantrums. If I say tantrums, oh my goodness, if she says something and you give her that, stern look and you reprimand her, the whole of that day, she's very moody. And she'll throw tantrums at you the whole day. So we had to take her through a lot of talking, a lot of things. And now she's changed. And I always say this, that when I was first coming to UK, if I had brought such a child, she would give me hell.
Yeah. I will lose her to foster.
I will lose her to the foster home. That particular child, I would lose her to the foster home because she had a very high energy. But now she's very sober. If she does something and you don't even reprimand her, she sits down and she realizes that, oh, I didn't do well. She will come to you. She will kneel down and apologize. She will tell you, I love you. I'm so sorry. Now I see that her mentality is she's now very matured. So if I bring her in such an environment, I won't have any problem. So training children abroad is not easy.
It's not easy. It is not. That is something that I think the African parents lack. They lack showing their love to us openly.
Yeah.
We know they love us deep down, but as we stand now, I don't remember the time. No, I've not done it before. Kissing my mother on the cheek, I've not even done that before. Never in my life. Seriously.
Aww.
They love you, but they don't show it openly. I don't know what they think they will lose when they tell you. And I think it is good when since they do something but we reprimand them, we said, no, mommy is not happy with it. When they do something good as well, we should be able to tell them that, hey, this one you have done well. Mommy is proud of you. Yeah. I think my child, I told you, she's not even up to 3 years. And sometimes when she does something, I explain to her, this is not good. So later on, I'll be sitting down and she'll come and then give me a kiss on the cheek. Mommy, I love you. Something I did not experience with my mother. So I think this is a different generation. So we shouldn't adapt the way we were trained back then. Right now, we should be able to change things as we are training them right now.
And also, I feel like if you have good friendship with your children, it's not just about being a mother or being a father to them. If you are like a friend, they are able to express themselves. They are able to open up. When they go to school, when my kids go to school and they come home, they will tell you everything in and out. They don't hide anything because we've become more like friends. When we talk on phone, they will tell you, oh, my teacher did this, my teacher said this, that. So it makes it easier for you to even trace what is happening in their life. If a perpetrator comes into their life, you will spot it quickly because they've been able to form that relationship and friendship and they'll open up and tell you.
That's the kind of friendship I want to start with my children, because with my mom, even if she's watching a movie and then a scene comes, two people are kissing, she will just say, hey, stand up and leave. Stand up and leave. What is happening? What is happening? I remember back in Ghana, I did this program, Akuma Mazimbi. I've forgotten the name. There was a program they talk about marriage.
So
thank you. So it started. I didn't know what they were going to discuss. They just started singing, and my mom was like, "Go and off that radio, go." I was like, "What is happening? What are people going to discuss?" And my mom is telling me. So when I went back to my room, I on the radio on my phone and then listened to everything that they said.
It makes you curious. You pass behind them to do things they wouldn't know.
Yeah. So if you tell them not to do it, you rather tell them to find out what is happening. So I thought my mom should rather say, "Hey, as you're listening to it and there is something that you don't understand, she can just tell you, well, with this thing that you are saying, maybe it is good, but it is good when you are married, explain certain things to you, have that friendship with us so that when we are facing something." I don't think that when I had my first menstrual flow, I was even able to tell her. I rather told my senior sister. But I want to have that friendship with my children here, so that when they are having any problems, they can come to me, not just as a mother, but as a friend. They can just stop anything stupid, anything silly, just discuss it with me, so that I can be able. Because if they go to their friends, you don't know what advice they're going to give them.
True.
And with this place, if a child wants to sport, it is very easy. As I said, your neighbor is not going to tell your child that, "Hey, put that cigarette down." No, they are going to watch the child to smoke. But back in Ghana, you will not even mention the name cigarettes, all right? So at this place, if you don't have friendship with them, they're going to have friends. And with the social media, they have phones. They're exposed to a lot of things. So if you don't get time, always working. That is why I said, if I gave birth back in Ghana, I wouldn't have brought them right now. I will come here, adapt to the system, know the things before I bring them. Because they have their phones all the time. You'll be at work. Throughout the day, 24 hours in a day, you spend just maybe 3 hours together, because they will go to school, you will go to work, you will see them in the evening. So you don't have much influence in their life. So if you don't have that friendship with them, trust me, you are going to spoil the life of your children. So I always advise mothers here in diaspora that you have to have friendship with your children. Have time. Work is good. We came here for the money, but have time for them as well, because they are our future. If we spoil their future, we will spoil our future as well.
Very true. Very true. Those are wise words. I really appreciate them. And I've learned a lot. Very true. What you've said is very true. And it's good you have them by your side. You incorporate your culture, your virtues in them before they are exposed to that environment that is outside. So that by the time they go out, they know the norm, they know the good, they know that no, mommy doesn't like this. I don't have to do this. This is right, this is wrong. So that any external influence that come, they can block it, or they can tell you as a friend that they've seen you today. They can easily tell you for you to follow up on such things. So that is very, very good. My last question is food. In terms of food, how do you see it being in a culture where you are seeing things that you don't know what to call them?
When I was in Ghana, salmon was not my kind of fish, but right now it's my best fish, because that's the only thing I can find. It is not easy. A lot of food, but I don't eat their food. Seriously, I don't eat their food, because we are lucky. We have condo here. We can prepare our own pankun. We have okro. We have African shops here, so you can go there and then do your African shopping. So I don't eat their food.
Yeah, that's true. Here to say the food, African food is expensive, but me, I'd rather spend money to buy what I want to eat than to buy something that I don't know what I'm buying.
When I came here at first, I was warning my husband, I want to go to a Spanish restaurant, take me to a Spanish restaurant. So on my birthday, he took me and I couldn't eat a single spoon of the rice they served. No, full of spice, I couldn't eat it. And he was like, he just spent my money. He did not eat all this. So I always go to the African shop, buy anything that I want to do. If I want to prepare soup, if I want to prepare stew. So I'm training them with African foods. But I know that when they start schooling, they will be able to eat Spanish food as well, because they will give them food there in the school. So, yeah. And a downside as well is that if your child is not up to 3 years, she cannot start schooling. When she starts schooling too, until she is 11, 12 years, I should always go with her in the morning and then go and pick her back from school.
Yeah, even here.
For 12 years.
Yes, even
for
here.
12 years.
Yes.
I'm like, what is happening? Back in Africa, 5 years, you can just tell the person to go to school. Why should I? Every day. So this is the work. Or this is the work I have to do here.
Full
Going
time.
with her every morning and then going back to pick her from school to.
It's a full-time job. It's a full-time job.
Full-time job.
Yeah, but
Seriously.
one thing is that you'll be rewarded. Now it's hard, but when they grow, I tell you what, you clap for yourself.
Yeah.
You will know that you have made yourself proud, because it's hard in the beginning. At first, when my kids were growing back home and I used to take my children to work. My first child would be at my back. Yeah, I'll back her in uniform.
Whoa.
And I'm working. It was that bad. And I was living in the same country with my parents. By that time, we're all at the extreme ends of Accra. It wasn't easy. But today I look back with gratitude. I thank myself for doing that, because now at least they can do basic things around the house for me.
Yeah.
So now I'm like a queen mother. They'll come and ask me, should we clean here? Should we wash here? You know, so it's hard in the beginning, but in future you will thank yourself for doing it. I'm telling you. Talking about language, you are in a foreign land where they don't speak English, you don't speak your language. How are you finding it with regards to your child? Is she able to speak the Spanish, or are you teaching her the local language, or how are you doing it? Would you like her to speak both languages?
Yeah, for now I'm speaking, I think I want to teach her both English and Fanti, because when she goes to school, automatically she'll be able to speak Spanish and the Catalan language. So I'm speaking English and Fanti with her right now, and she's picking up. Sometimes she will speak to me in Fanti, sometimes she will speak to me in English. Because here, when they go to school, I don't think they even teach them English unless you take them to school and then have extra classes for them, English extra classes for them. So children here find it very difficult to speak English. So I speak English, and then I speak my mother tongue with her, and then I know that by next year she will start schooling, and automatically she's going to speak the Spanish, because that's what the teachers are going to speak. Yeah, that's all what the friends are going. That's the language they're going to use to communicate. So yeah. So for now, English and Fanti.
Wow, that's lovely. Are there any final words you have for my viewers? Anything you'd like to tell them? Any advice or anything at all?
Okay, I would advise the mothers that if a mother living here in the diaspora, whatever your religion is, don't leave it out from your children, because sometimes when you live, you don't even get time to attend church. Sometimes you work Sundays, Saturdays, you don't even have time for yourself. So do the little that you can. Have Bible studies with them, teach them, because back then we were able to go to Sunday school. So we grew up in the Lord, with the fear of the Lord. So have Bible studies with them, teach them about God, let them know the essence of having God in your life, how you should communicate with him, so that even if you are not around for them to talk to you, they can talk to God. Let them know that Jesus is also their friend. It is very, very, very serious, because sometimes we neglect that part when we are training our children. We train them to do all the good stuff, but we neglect a part of introducing them to the religion that we are in. And there are a lot of influence out there. So if you want to have your children by yourself, teach them the fear of God as well.
Wow. These are powerful words from a very wise woman. If you take God out of the equation, it is not balanced.
Oh, you can't make it. You can't make it. We are here by his grace.
Yeah, we are in a system where there are a lot of negative influence out there. And you can't do it on your own without the
because children have their rights here.
Yes, a lot. They have a lot of rights. They can call the police for you. They can, if I tell you things that children do in diaspora, oh my goodness, it's a nightmare.
I've seen some of my sister when I came at first, and I was very angry, as if the child was doing that to me. But hey, this is Europe, not Africa. So what are you going to do? They will listen to the child and leave you out.
Exactly.
So you have to teach them the fear
what the child says is what they take. So if you don't add God in the equation, for God himself to work on the heart of the child, for that child to be a benefit to you, they are going to be a liability for you.
Because you can't force them.
No, not at all.
But if they know the way, they will follow it.
Exactly. Thank you so much, my sister, for your time, for your counsel, for your wise words. And as I said, guys, she has a YouTube channel where she does counsel. She has a lot of content in here. She is a very experienced person. You know, I want you guys to go onto her channel, show her love. I'll leave her links in my description box, in my comment section, like all over the place in my community tab. You guys should go and follow her and show her love and support. Thank you so much, Priscilla, for coming onto my channel. And until we meet again in my next video, guys, is bye.
Bye. Thank you.